Hey, good morning, y'all. It is Wednesday, May 12th, and it's about 10 a.m., and I'm done trading for the day. One of the things that I've learned with scalping is that the first 30 minutes of the day is the most powerful time to trade because of the volatility. So we're going to look at the pre-market and see how the market was developing early on, and then the mindset behind the scalp and the direction for today. So let's get right into it. So the first quick thing that I noticed was that the Qs looked like we had some bullish divergence, which means the price is going lower and RSI is going higher. So being that we were gapping down from Tuesday's close at 325.31 on the Qs and we opened at 320.23, I was already in the mindset of looking for a bounce play into the open. Now, I don't want to be shorting the open because the market's already gapping down $5. I always say the same thing. Any market downturn is never going to go straight down in one line. You're always going to have pops and drops in between to confuse you as well. So that's what we're seeing pre-market. Then I looked at the Tesla chart. In the Discord, I said that I'm waiting for a close above the 8 EMA on the 5-minute chart to take Tesla on a long scalp. So that was at 9:08 a.m. So let's look at a 5-minute chart here. So over here on Tesla, when I mentioned the 8 EMA, it was at around 9:08. So it was around this candle. So we're still below the 8 EMA, which is my green line here. So at that point, a long scalp is not advisable because you're under the 8 EMA, and the 8 EMA is your momentum line. So if you're below the 8 EMA, momentum is to the downside. If you're above the 8 EMA, momentum is generally towards the upside. So in this case, right off the gate at the open, Tesla put in this big candle here. I was able to trade it on a smaller time frame, being that right out the gate on Tesla, we had seen a nice pump above the 8 EMA. Being that the momentum and the pressure was to the upside in Tesla, I jumped in right away at 9:30 a.m. into a 610 call scalp. I sold it 1 minute later. I entered right around 6:05, and then it popped up to around 6:09 and change, and I got out of it right away. So that was a nice scalp to start the morning. And then a few minutes later at 9:37, so if we look right around here on the 1 minute, I saw right here on this big candle, I saw that this candle was looking to break above the previous 1 minute high. So I entered as it was breaking this 1 minute previous high right here. So as it was breaking, I entered my scalp and I sold it literally within 15 seconds, because you could see this is a 1 minute candle and it shot up right away. So I sold it immediately. And that's what a scalp is. You're not waiting around to see if it keeps going higher. You're taking the profit on that move, and that's it. You're done. So right now I'm looking at a potential, there's another potential setup here. So I'm going to open up my orders here on Tesla. Normally I don't just trade on this one chart, so I have to open up my Thinkorswim again. So let me do that real quick. I'm very glad I didn't open up a position there. And that's important too, because, you know, I was about to chase a trade just from looking at one chart. So the 1 minute was starting to look good, and I was like, oh, okay, let me look that up. But you have to keep all your time frames in vision when you're scalping. I'm not shorting this just because I just don't trust the downside here. I'm watching for a pop above the previous 1 minute red candle, which is 608.66. So above that, we should see a little pop to VWAP again to 612. So that's what I'm looking for here very quickly. Let's see if we get something. So I'm watching the level 2 right now to see if 608.66 starts to print here on the ask and then on the bid. So I'm watching that diligently right now, and it looks like it's trying. So it's struggling here at this level. They're really fighting it out over here at this 607.50 level. I have a feeling it's gonna pop, and there it goes. I'm entering it now that it's on the ask. Let's see if we can get above it real quick. It's pulling back. It flashed for a second, but it didn't flash on the bid. I'm still in. I'm looking for 611, 612. So it's moving. 608.66 needs to hold. That's the next level it needs to hold. So I'm watching that here. 608.66 needs to break. Good. That broke. So now we should see some quick momentum to the upside here. just enough to get out with a scalp here. So I'm putting a sell order in. I got a sell order in here. We're holding 608.66, so we should see some follow through real quick. Come on, hold that 608.66 level. We need to hold it on the bids. We need to hold it on the bids. It's not holding. It's not holding here. I'm lowering my sell limit to get out. I'm adjusting that here. And I'm out. So I made $21 on that trade. I didn't like it. I didn't like the feel of it. I didn't like that it didn't pop right away. I would have liked to have seen a pop straight into this VWAP area, but the reason why it didn't move as fast is because you have the moving averages above you. So now it's trying again. It's trying to build the 8 EMA as support on the 1 minute. So this round, it could be the time that it breaks up to VWAP again, but I'm not sure about it. So I am not going to take it, and we're gonna just watch. And that's it. That was, to be honest with you, my plan wasn't to make another trade, but I wanted to show you a little bit live, and I will be doing that. I will be doing that more often. So, and look, now you're seeing a bit of a pullback. So I'm very glad that I got out of that, because again, it should have held, it should have popped. It didn't do what I wanted to do, so I got out. That's what scalping is, guys. Literally, you're in and you're out. You're not asking questions, all right? So I'm gonna move forward here with the rest of the video. What we're gonna do now is export the transaction data from today's trades. Now that I have the file saved on my computer, I'm gonna go into Tradersync.com again. I'm gonna go ahead and click Add Trade. Then I'm gonna click Browse, and I'm going to open the file and click Import Trades. That's gonna automatically input the trades from this morning into my dashboard, and that's it. And now we can look at all of our stats. So I made 4 scalp trades today. This is why I really like Tradersync, because it tells you your open time, your close time, and all these stats that are extremely important for me personally. And so, you know, this trade I only held for 46 seconds. It was 15%. The next trade I only held for 14 seconds, which I showed you in the chart example. And then I took another trade, which I got out of. Thankfully, I got out of it with $1 profit. And then the fourth one that I just did with you guys live gave me a $21 return. So, and my goal for this, really, this account is started with $1,000. Similar to the 1K account challenge for spreads. So I'm really trying to push myself to build up small accounts again, because I want to show you guys that it's possible. The reason why I'm doing this is a couple reasons. One, I want to prove to you guys that you can start with a little bit amount of money and learn the skill and make that grow for you. The other thing is, if you never learn how to grow a small account, you'll never be able to grow a big account, and you'll never be able to manage a big account. So I used to think that, oh, if I had more money, I could make more money. That is the most toxic thinking you could ever have when it comes to the markets. You need to start with where you are and you need to learn how to manage what you got in front of you. If you can't manage that, you're never going to be able to manage $10,000, $25,000, $50,000, $100 or more, because you need that discipline started off from a small account. And that's why I'm doing these 2 challenges, the 1K challenge and the Scalp Mastery challenge, because I feel like this is going to be the ultimate way for you to see progression, for it to be as low risk as possible for you. So what's up, guys? I'm in the middle of editing some stuff, but I saw a Tesla. It's either going to break down hard or it's going to bounce. But right here is going to be the area whether we hold the 8 EMA and the 21 on the 1 minute. So this is going to dictate the short-term momentum right now. If this holds, we're going to see a nice little pop, probably to VWAP 608.88. So I'm going to be watching for either or scenario. Currently just looks like we're going to break down, really. But that's usually when the market kind of fakes you out the most, is when something looks so obvious. So over here on the 15-minute, I have Heikin-Ashi candles on and they're still red. See right here, we're getting a little bit of a pop here. Let's see if we can reclaim this high here. So over 604.35 on the 1 minute is what I'm looking at for scalping, and I have a trigger here for 605 calls I'm looking at right now. So I'm entering here. All right, so I'm in a scalp here. This is a very short term look at it. The trend is down for right now, but at this point, it's either going to rip to VWAP real quick, and then that'll be my exit, or it's gonna fail. My stop loss is gonna be under here. Is gonna be under the 21 EMA on the 1 minute right now. So basically, I have a nice tight risk where we're at, and now it just needs to pop through the high of 604.50. So it needs to break the previous 1 minute candle high right now. And if it does, you're going to see a nice pop up to the next moving average, which will give it like a dollar juice right now. So as of right now, I'm up 1.5%, 3% or so on the swing here. I think that we can get up to VWAP pretty quickly, but I'm going to put in a sell order anyways to try to fill on this volatility spike. So I put a sell order in, and basically I just want to see a little bit more follow through so that my sell order can hit. As the volatility is increasing, the option premium is raising in value. So right now I'm just shy of my limit order, so I'm giving it another minute or so. We have the tick turn positive over here slightly, so that could lead a little bit of a move higher as well. 1 minute is still intact here. See, my stop loss was down here and we ended up popping quickly. So that's what needed to happen for me to stay in this trade. Now I can give it another minute or so. After this minute candle, I really want to basically see the move that I want, or I'm getting out. So that's the mindset right now that I'm in. And so I still have my sell order set for this trade. It needs to break above this 100-day EMA on the minute. And then so if you look at the 2 minute, you have the 55 above you at the head here. The only good thing is that VWAP's up here, so it could pull price up to VWAP. And I'll be out of the trade before that. So right now, perfect. This 1 minute chart is now popping and my order just filled. So that's it. I'm out of that trade. Again, I think that it could probably get to VWAP at 608.73 on the 1 minute chart, but in reality, I don't need that. I just needed this move. So we entered in right here, and we said we're stopping out right under the 21 EMA on the 1 minute chart. So we had a clear risk to reward. We also saw the 8 EMA curling into the 21 EMA and above it. So that shows you on a very micro level basis, which is what you're looking at when you're scalping, the trend is now shifting upwards. And we're starting to see a little bit of continuation. So this is exactly what we needed to see and happen in this trade. So I'm grateful that we saw that side of it, right? Had we not, then price would have broken down pretty dramatically. And so right now, the contracts aren't even that much more than what I sold them at. The reason is that the volatility spike that you get when Tesla moves up $1, $1.50 very quickly, the value is going to increase very quickly and spike rapidly, which is why my strategy is to set sell limit orders at a slightly higher level than what the ask is at currently. Because once price starts to pop, then that order will fill on a reactionary move. So that's how I take advantage of scalps both up and down. So looking at the 1 minute chart, I closed my trade at 11:11, right around here, around 607 level. I said that I believe it could go up towards the VWAP, which was around 708 and change at the time. It tried getting up there, didn't touch it, and then it reversed. So if you had stayed in that trade thinking, oh, this is it, the market's going to keep going higher, I'm all good, what would have happened is you would have seen price start to stall out in this area, and then it starts to give up all the moving averages again. Why? Because the momentum of the day is still overall bearish. So we were playing a scalp to the upside at a very important time in the chart that it had to work right away or we were out. It ended up working right away and we cut it. So had you stayed in that trade thinking it was going to keep going, and we went from around 708 down to lows of 599. So if you're trading options and you get stuck holding a position as it's going against you 8 to 9 points, that's going to be a very bad trade. So that's the beauty of scalping, is that it's very quick. You're taking advantage of what you're seeing in front of you and you don't care about anything else. So as soon as the trade was over, I walked away. And what I did was I practiced doing the champion pose. Now the champion pose is one that when, a champion wins, they go like this and they put their hands up in the air. Very important, because you start to stay too long and then the market convinces you to see things that you're not really seeing and take trades that don't align with your strategy. That's why I walked away. And when I got back to the computer, I took a look at it just for review purposes, and it ends up being a really good lesson for us. That's it, guys. Talk to you later.